Has Anonymous been hijacked by the Russians?
Could the superhero-esque organization be compromised?
See, the problem with Anonymous being anonymous is that anyone can be anonymous.
So why would I think Russian trolls are choosing to be anonymous? What is leading me down this rabbit hole? Well, to understand, you're going to need some quick context. So we're going to go back to the late 2000s when hackers from the world over came together to form a yet unseen Voltron level of cyber gods. And that's really what it was, and definitely what it must have felt like. But of course it didn't last. This guy, who doesn't even deserve to be named, ended up ruining the fun for everyone. See, he was the leader of a rather well-known and accomplished hacktivist group. Until he got picked up by the FBI and flipped instantly. After that, the FBI sent him on a government-sanctioned crime spree, going after Border Patrol agents, U.S. defense contractor, and stealing police officers' credit card numbers. All in an attempt to win the trust of other hackers and ultimately frame Julian Assange. Framing of the whole Julian Assange thing didn't work at all. But the distrust that was sown by the FBI infecting Anonymous sent ripples across the world. These incidents caused a lot of Anonymous's old guard to be locked up or just kind of give up, which led way to new blood filling the ranks. Which didn't really work out at all. Or did it? See, after this, Anonymous's behavior got a little weird, including being really interested in the Philippines election and voting machines. But domestically, things got a little weird for Anonymous when they took up a fight with the KKK and announced they were going to dox 1,000 of their members. Which seems like it would be kind of cool, but didn't actually work out well. See, the problem occurred when some of the people that Anonymous doxed weren't actually white supremacists. People like U.S. Senator Dan Coates, who among other things has been very critical of Russia.
Coincidence? Maybe, but I doubt it.
This could just be shoddy work by an elite hacker group who's making mistakes. That seems plausible, right? Okay, let's take it back 1 year earlier to Ferguson, Missouri. What we know now that we wish we could have known then is that Russia had bought 3,000 ads from Facebook. Ads that targeted both Black Lives Matters and Second Amendment supporters. Anonymous, however, showed up and displayed some more uncharacteristically bad work. They doxed the good cops. Yeah, they got it completely wrong. And never outed the bad ones. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to assume it was just shoddy hacktivist work. I'm going to come right out and say this is a coordinated attack by Russia.
Alright, now what led me down this rabbit hole? What made me start looking these things up and putting it all together?
Well, I noticed that immediately after the disastrous summit in Helsinki, where it was made painfully obvious that the POTUS has been compromised, Anonymous started posting some really crazy out-of-character stuff, denouncing what's obvious to the rest of the world, and feeding into the traditional batshit crazy Hillary did it conspiracy theories, most notably jumping on the Uranium One idiot wagon, which has long since been proven to be nonsense, but Trump supporters seem to have gullible written on the ceiling. But it's not just batshit crazy pro-Trump stuff. They like to pepper in actual conspiracy theories and almost anything that'll cause civil unrest and Americans to be unhappy. And they do all this to convince you that they're the good guys, so they can gain your trust. So, this Facebook group that cued me on to something being wrong has 9.8 million followers. So I did some digging, and I found that these two groups, the largest groups, post virtually identical content. This group posts stuff actually related to hacking and computer espionage. This group, however, posts a lot of the same stuff as the first two groups, but has a phone number listed. No one answers when I call, but the 706 area code I traced back to northern Georgia. So this means if my theory is correct, Anonymous has been compromised and these three groups are working together, we've potentially uncovered Russian agents working domestically on U.S. soil.
This is actually much more likely than we probably want to believe.
Facebook claims it's removed up to 300 accounts from the Russian troll factory, which is a real place and we do know where to find it. Also, at the time of making this video, Robert Mueller, the man, the myth, the machine, has already indicted 32 people in his investigation into Russian collusion. With an estimated 70 more indictments to come, I suspect this will end something more like the Nixon era on steroids.
So what do you think? Is it possible that Anonymous somehow supports Trump? I highly doubt it. But hey, maybe there's something I missed. I don't know. Maybe you know. Leave it in the comments. Like and subscribe. Keep it classy.